Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to We the Revolution, a game by Polly Slash and Clay Bader. This is a game which puts you in the shoes of a French revolutionary judge during the French Revolution, and we are returning to this series after a little bit of a hiatus on stream anyway. I've just been a little bit busy with real life and other things going on, but we're returning today, and we're day 12 of the Let's Play, and we just got shanked recently by some goons of Roland, so we'll see how things play out. I did try to convince some folks to join my side, and I pretty much universally failed in that plot against Roland, but I think I've already succeeded in my plotting against him. I just haven't gotten to sort of the dramatic success. We're sort of in the middle range of a successful intrigue, so we'll see how that plays out. With that being said, thanks again for the bits there, J Street. I think that's a little bit loud. I may have to bring that down. Yeah, let's tweak that. All right, we'll see how this plays out. But let's go ahead and jump back in and see how things go. Monarchist scheme. There it is, the first piece of the puzzle. Let us fill in the rest with the corpses of enemy agents. Okay. Revolutionary patrol. The patrol may imprison your agent or capture an enemy agent. Because there's a patrol over here. We don't have anything over there, so we're safe there. Meanwhile, we've got our... what is this guy called again? He's like our enforcer, basically, fighting against the enemy diplomat. Our diplomat himself is wounded, so I guess I'll bring him back to... our area, and hopefully he's going to get better just on his own. We've expanded our influence over another sector, so we have 3 sectors in our control, and we're trying to maintain our control over this sector here by taking out this enemy diplomat. We currently have good relations with my elder son, my wife, my younger son, and my father, so those are all benefits currently for our global modifiers. We have very low relations with the aristocrats, medium relations with the revolutionaries, and very high relations with the common folk. Our reputation is currently at a level 6, so a little bit more than halfway over. The 2 sections, the +3 influence, 4 acquittals, 3 prison sentences, and 5. Jeez, I've killed 5 people already? Wow. So that's the current situation here. Now, if we go into our section here, it looks like we're currently constructing the monument. It's at 3% complete. Daily rate at which construction statue occurs. The problem is I don't think I can seize any of these buildings yet. And I don't know how. I don't know what I can do to try and build the statue faster. Facilitate the persuasions will cost. I guess we'll do that. And we'll kind of jump forward here. So I think we're done. We've already moved our units around. So we'll go ahead and end the turn. That is true. My nickname is the Butcher, J Street, so it is fitting that I be killing many people. So here's yours truly with a wound. Our father is asking how our wound is. They are healing, all thanks to our new friends. Really? What's the matter? Let me remind you that you have been resting here, in this house. This is where they carried you, and it is your family that has been waiting on you, hand and foot. Us, your family, whom you are putting in danger. You think I wanted to be stabbed in an alleyway? Probably. Your wife is what is best for the family. Your brother... My brother wanted to protect our family by fighting back against those who threatened us, while you just wanted to wait. But I have seen the head of a king roll as easily as a tradesman. Only power. You are a judge of the tribunal. You have power. It is the people who paid these assassins, the Rolands, or whoever they answer to, who have power. They are the ones who wield life and death in this city. Let us hope they do not kill us all before you grab your precious power. You know, it's not like I wanted to get stabbed, honey. I really didn't. Okay, I'm going to support the construction of the statue. It's going to hurt my relations with everybody, but I need to complete it. So I need to make some progress on that. Looks like it does allow us to maintain our good relations with our father. Our wife kind of stays pat. Our sons both drop a little bit, but we still have good relations with our youngest son too, which is giving us a positive modifier with the rest of the family. Oh, shit. Oh, the Revolutionary Patrol just took out some. What is going on? Everyone works harder when they see that your family is helping. Spies on the enemy lures opponents and helps the diplomat control a territory. Dear friend, I hear that you're recovering from your hideous attempted assassination. Your dispute with Minister Roland has led to the mobilization of the Gorgonauts, who wish to take over the convention and most probably restore tyranny. In order to defend the Republic, my group would like to strike first and arrest the leaders of the coup. The list of suspects is not conclusive yet, since we are still not sure which of the Rolands should be accused of trying to assassinate you. Long live the Republic, Maximilien Robespierre. So Robespierre is either using us to make us the villain as we go after the coup plotters, or he is trusting us as his co-conspirator against the plotters. But in any event, we're trying to identify who the various plotters are. Now, the Revolutionary Patrol appeared to take out the enemy agent that was in our sector, so that's actually a good response. Apparently, the enemy agent wounded our guy too. What's this? He's taking over a section. No, don't do that. My guy's wounded, so I can't do anything with him. I think I'll keep him over here though. Hopefully, well, I don't know where these roving people are going to go. A spy should let us get a better sense of unlocking a section. Or where do we want to send him? Over here? This must be the Royalist area where we've got the Fleur de Lis over here. Or Fleur de Louis, is that what it's called? I don't want my diplomat being the one fighting, but I also don't want to lose this sector here. What if we go to the intrigue? Exposing the minister's wife. That didn't go well. Counterattack. Wait. The true family, she's incredibly ambitious. Oh, that was the one we failed where we couldn't have convinced the different people to come to our side. So we're now into day 6, which is counterattack. So Citizen Robespierre and his spies report that the Girondins are allegedly preparing for an attack on the Jacobins, who they want to arrest and kill en masse. If it was Roland who befriended the aristocrats, everything is starting to fall into place. Roland knows that you survived. You can assume that the events in the convention will be followed by another assassination attempt. Robespierre suggests that we strike first. If we arrest prominent Girondins, we'll cut off a number of the Hydra's head with one blow. So, indictment. Antibal, Bola the Younger, Bola Frenda, blah, blah, blah. Just a bunch of different names. But if I don't... So I guess I don't have a choice. Looks like I have to sign their death sentence. I didn't even see another option other than to perform an action. I guess I could have done nothing. So success. Important decisions. Sometimes you will have to make decisions that will affect the entire intrigue. Think through it carefully. Decide who will be brought to justice. Who do we want to arrest? The assassination attempted was performed by people hired by Ginny Marie Roland. It was her from the very beginning. By arresting her, you will get rid of the source of the problem. Her husband, however, the person granted power by the convention, will slip out of your hands. Or we can go after her husband. You have strong evidence against him, so sentencing him should not pose any problems. His wife, on the other hand, may have enough time to escape, which could have unwelcome consequences. So essentially, we have to choose to either go after his wife, which I assume would make people upset if we go after his wife because we probably don't have great evidence against her. We could go against him. He's the safer bet, but then she'll get away and she'll probably continue to plot against us. So I'm not sure if there's a correct response. Roland, to me, is the easier target, though, because he is sort of a member of the revolution. Agrippa is yelling at me to go with the wife. Do you know what happens if I choose the husband, Agrippa? And welcome, by the way, Agrippa Maxenius. Does some pretty good streams on this as well, so you should check out his Twitch channel. Agrippa and I have been sort of pen pals on YouTube and Twitch for, it's got to be like 3 or 4 years now, right? You know what happens if you choose the wife. For all I know, you're setting me up to die. Save and then... I don't want to save, scum. I'll play through it again if I have to. Agrippa lost XTRG? Or are you saying I'm the guy? I think the husband is the way to go. So we're going to bring the husband to justice. Mainly because I have evidence against him, I think. +6 reputation. Successful intrigue. I don't care if the wife is evil, Agrippa. I can't just go around killing evil people. I mean, aren't I evil by that definition? All right, so we are perfect intrigue. We're almost to a perfect intrigue, but I don't know if I don't think we actually have enough to get to a perfect intrigue, which is unfortunate. Okay, so that might be the end of the intrigue. I'm not quite sure. We get +6 reputation, though. That'll be very nice. What about if we go 5 days left before the inspection, daily rate at which the construction's occurring? It's 3%. That's so slow. I guess we'll spend more time with my family. I can't unlock any of these other buildings yet. Meanwhile, none of this we haven't proceeded to the next day. If we go to the hierarchy here, we can see Roland is here. Burrell is dead. We weren't able to convince Merritt to join our side. Han Riot is on our side. Elliot appeared to save our life, but we don't actually know where she stands. Our friend David we saw on the first day, but we really haven't seen them since. But the picture's becoming clearer, at least on the lower level of who's in power. So I think we'll go ahead and proceed, and we'll see what happens here. Agrippa, I didn't get anyone on my side. I failed that intrigue altogether. How am I feeling? You're still out of it when I visited you. The wounds are not fully healed, but I thought it would be good to show up to work anyway. Yes, look, I need to talk to you. I think I must. Has your father ever told you how exactly your brother evaded the gallows and ended up at the front lines? I asked, but all I ever got was silence. I was the one appointed his case. Oh.
The verdict was just a formality. For such mutilation of another person, I could have only sentenced the accused to death. Your father came to me and begged for his firstborn's life. I did not know what to do.
Corruption.
I spent that night thinking about the case. Eventually, I burnt the files.
Corruption.
I told your father to banish Bruno from the city, then sell his stall to those he was at odds with, the Reynards. He was also supposed to give part of that money to the family of the wounded boy. Your father agreed to everything. I remember the eyes of your brother when he was banished from his home.
They're crazy eyes.
But his father did not have a choice.
Look at the crazy eyes.
It was the only way to save his son.
Later we learned that Bruno enlisted and died at the front lines. What I'm trying to say is what? Your brother died anyway, despite me showing him mercy, but that does not mean showing it was worthless. Remember this while you're hunting down your enemy. So, this is not a good lesson, Raymond. What you're telling me is corruption is okay, that in the end everything will work out. What? No! That's not okay! Oh boy. Position in hierarchy is giving us a -1 with the common folk, but a +1 with the common folk? That's weird. Everybody, family, the revolutionaries, the common folk, want me to kill him, except for the aristocrats, of course, who hate me. And I probably can't really appease everybody in this case, right? Although we know the defendant, please introduce yourself for the record. My name is Jean-Marie Roland, Minister of the Interior and Deputy of the Convention. You are no longer a minister, you traitor. I am innocent unless you are able to prove my guilt.
Get the serpent's head off as fast as you can!
Sorry, guys. I'll stop the voice acting. Poor Papa. Bernard. He's playing a little violin. Oh, our little son is so cute. All right, so aristocrats really don't like me. Revolutionaries and common folk. I mean, we probably could get away with letting him go, which would make the aristocrats like us very much. But would that cause him to stop plotting against me? I don't think so. I mean, we know he's the enemy, right? So, like, I can't just let him go. Let's take a look at the case file. We probably should also recuse ourselves. If he tried to kill us, we should not be the one trying him. This seems like a perversion of justice. Anyway, Jean-Marie Roland, until recently a minister of the Interior, has been accused of corruption and treason. Why haven't we changed his name to Capet? For the charge of corruption, we began the investigation by questioning the prominent members of the convention. Citizens Herbert and Robespierre were particularly helpful. They testified that Minister Roland had several times discreetly offered them benefits for softening their stance with regards to the continuation of war against the monarchies that pose a threat to us, chiefly Britain and Spain. The citizens mentioned he had no evidence that would allow them to accuse Roland. Further, they suspected the offer did not come directly from the minister. They speculated that the originator could have been Citizen Capet himself, who maintained strong relations with Roland. Not wanting to make a false accusation, the people involved were waiting for indisputable evidence to emerge. When his attempt to bribe prominent convention members failed, Roland supposedly turned to his less influential deputies. He hoped to win their hearts with the support of his wife, Jenny Marie Roland. She hosted a political salon, which served as a cover for managing a brothel. Unfortunately, we were not able to identify any deputies who could have taken advantage of the hospitality offered by Madame Roland and her charges. Nevertheless, the local residents confirmed that the coaches full of men used to arrive at night and were given the address. We do not know whether they really went there or to discuss politics, but it does not seem probable. The charge of treason is based on the matter disclosed during the trial of Citizen Capet, i.e. the Iron Cabinet. Roland supposedly hurried to take some of the documents from the cabinet and could give them away. One of the participants of the events and the minister's subordinate, Philippe Cote, has expressed his readiness to testify. Thanks to his ready wits, the destruction of the documents concerning Louis himself was prevented. As if this were not enough, at the very last moment, Citizen Saint-Just reported that in order to rise to full power, the Girondins, I'm sorry, how do you pronounce that? Girondins were attempting to overthrow the convention by force. We've been notified that members of this group worked actively to incite an uprising, which would allow them to take power in other parts of the country. Supposedly, the citizens of Nantes and Niort were under serious threat from the activity as the intensity of the counter-revolutionary and monarchist moods has intensified. In the light of these facts, the people of Paris, represented by Prosecutor Tinville, asked for the traitor to be sentenced to death immediately. Okay, that's a lot of speculation, not a lot of actual evidence. Let's take a look at the questions. So treason. Do we have evidence of treason? Witnesses? No? Shit. Treason. Accusation? Yes. Treason. Counter-revolution? Yes. Okay. So that rules out corruption too, which is interesting because I didn't select corruption, but now the corruption option went away. Contact with Citizen Capet. Is that an accusation or witnesses? An accusation. Jean-Marie Roland. Counter-revolution? Oh, it was a trap! No! Brothel. This would be an accusation. No! Oh, God, guys, I'm sucking. Hiding documents. This is an accusation. Fuck. Well, I ran out. That would have been an accusation, wouldn't have? What questions do we have? This one is death. We have a lot of unanswered questions. All right, well, let's go with this. Citizen Herbert Robespierre testified that you offered a bribe for softening the course of foreign policy. Is that true? Of course not. As the Minister of the Interior, it would have been no benefit to me. That depends on what Citizen Capet expected of you. If I had talked to the convention into peace negotiations, the people would think it was all over. They would be thrown off guard, and enemy agents would slip through the borders more easily. This would have added considerable difficulty to my work. The defendant is instead suggesting that the possibility of motive for his action. That is exactly what a traitor would want, a great number of enemy spies destroying France. Traitor! More spies would mean more money from the Austrians. Be quiet, you cacoponious dolt. Thanks to my work, the Herberts were able to carry on with their wars without worrying about the country falling apart beneath their authoritarian boots. Silence! Do you remember Citizen Louis Capet was found guilty of treason? I do, of course. It would appear the proposals of corruption were the idea of the deceased. There were no proposals, and if Louis considered something like this, I know nothing of it. You're referring to him by his first name? Citizen Capet himself spoke warmly of you, mentioning your special relationship and cooperation. Citizen Capet, was my superior, and that was indeed the nature of our relationship. People in the cordons often said you could hardly let go of Capet's hand because you were kissing it so often. Why not just say he'd have the man happily? Why not just say he'd happily sodomize the man? Okay, I do not wish to offend the court. This is not a court trial, but a scandal. Okay. Did your wife remain in contact with Citizen Capet? She attended one or two of his banquets with me. No traitor can ever stop themselves from consorting with aristocratic asses. It would appreciate it if Prosecutor Tinville could hold his tongue. Apart from these circumstances, my wife had no contact with the Citizen Capet. She had no reason to talk to him. Are you certain you know exactly what was happening in her brothel? That's a good one. My wife is a decent woman. That's even better. That really didn't change anyone's opinion, eh? So the jury wants to lock him up. I have no more questions that I can ask because I blew through these terrible... I performed so terribly. Now, I can kill him. I can still kill him, but yes, I didn't even get a chance to talk to Citizen Cote. I have no other options here at this point. I don't think there's anything else I can do. Well, I can use 2 influence points. So, hiding the documents... God damn it, I don't know which one I should guess. Ah! So, destroying the evidence, that's an accusation, right? Okay, so we answered that. That is an accusation. Counter-revolutionary activities would also be an accusation. Overthrow the convention. That would also be an accusation. So, would it also be counter-revolution? Yes, okay. Counter-revolutionary activities could also be counter-revolution. Hiding the documents. Counter-revolution. No! Alright, well, we can at least ask this question, which will move him toward being killed. Return the incident now that is not in the files. Do you recall how you visited Capet after the trial? I do. And also, do you remember how you foretold my forthcoming doom, including a suggestion of imminent death? What a shameless rat. I would like to point out that I was in a state of agitation. He threatened the judge with death, and strangely enough, it was not even a few days later that I was attacked in the street by strangers who stabbed me in the stomach. I knew you were a despicable wretch, but I never suspected you were a murderer as well. I refused to answer? Was this also part of the plan to overthrow the convention to kill the judge who could send you to the guillotine? I refuse to answer. I am innocent. You are accused of intending to destroy evidence against Citizen Capet. That is foolishness and a matter of fiction. Do not believe a thing that the rotten coat has said. He was not inside my head to read my thoughts or intentions. But he knew you rather well. He was weak and too easily influenced, and now seeks to avenge himself like a stray cat who dreams of being a lion. After all, the documents were submitted to the court, were they not? They were, but only because you had no luck and Citizen Court returned to you too quickly. You did not expect it, and you became clumsy. And he's lying to us so boldly. How do you know I didn't intend to hand them over? So I don't think I can do anything else to try and, like, I can't use any more influence to try and ask more questions. The jury's on board with imprisoning him, but not killing him. Who is Coate, the man witnessing the incident with the iron cabinet? The defendant's subordinate, right? How does the defendant explain the threats against the judge of the tribunal? I'm guessing here, right? What's the cover for Roland's whorehouse? A political salon? I don't really know. Like, I'm just guessing here. But okay. Let's see what it tells us. How many of those do we guess right? Because I can't call any witnesses or anything, right? If we send him to prison, the aristocrats will like us less. Everybody else will be kind of happy. If we kill him, the aristocrats will like us more if we kill him than if we send him to... Agrippa, I've actually disregarded the jury twice. I don't think they are... I don't think I have any negative penalties with them right now. The minister's wife fled. Oh, by the way, that's good to know. So his wife ran away. But we don't have negative impacts right now. Why does that give me negative? Okay. So we've disregarded the jury twice. So we have gotten penalties of our reputation or whatnot for that. But currently we don't have any penalties against that. The jury's dislike of us ended. I just don't know, guys. Why don't you guys say in the chat what I should do? Should I send him to prison or should I kill him? I think those are my only options. Interesting, I think that the aristocrats hate me less if I kill him. If I send him to prison, I'm pretty close to risk of death from the aristocrats. The death penalty is actually the safer option. So it feels like that's what I should do. I'm sure I'll get another jury penalty if I lop off his head, but I'm going to kill him anyway, and we'll see what happens. All right. We're going to send him to death. He's going to get killed. Hopefully I won't get killed alongside him. Let him die like the other traitors. Good. Long live the judge.
Let us rid the government of English spies.
And does it matter what we have to say? You'd better take us into account in the future. Well, I got 3 out of 4 of the questions right. Results +2 reputation and influence. The jury's going to like me less. But hey, you know, enemy at the courthouse. We got another jury penalty. This is our 3rd jury penalty. But honestly, well, the revolutionary one, that could hurt us because that's -2 for... Or influence, revolutionaries, and common folk. So the common folk and the revolutionary penalty against us doesn't hurt much. The reputation one does, though. Kill everyone, Bear? Yeah, I mean, that is an option. Let's give a speech. They're bullheaded and attached. So attached means manipulate, right? Bullheaded probably means aggression. And maybe for crime we go with humility. Humility is very weak. Manipulation's perfect, and aggression is strong. Attached. So we should go with manipulation, and then either humility, carelessness. Well, probably just aggression because we know it's strong. So 2 manipulations and a aggression. Manipulation. Future generations will remember that we were not cowards. They will remember us delivering punishment for such hideous crimes. So you can see they get happier. Then we go with manipulation again. These offenders want to go back to the old ways. They defend them. The crowd is happy, and we'll go with aggression to top it off. These criminals think that because we are tolerant, we are also weak. That is enough. There you go. So the crowd is satisfied. They're cheering us on. That gives us a +4 reputation. And here comes the accused. Do you want to see my head fall off? Yes. Yes, we do.
Off with his head!
And on that morbid note, we're going to go ahead and wrap this episode up. We're about 30 minutes in, so this is usually the point at which we end. Our rival Roland has been eliminated, although we potentially have created more problems by eliminating him and leaving his wife alive. We've also gone against the jury for the third time, so we'll be getting more penalties there. And those are all things that are going to have some serious implications to the game going forward. But I still think, knowing what we knew at the time, it seemed like the right decision. We'll obviously see how that plays out, though, in future episodes. Until future episodes, though, guys, I do want to thank you guys for continuing to tune in and support the channel. As always, let me know your thoughts below. And until next time, guys, this is the Historical Gamer saying once again, thank you for watching, and I'm out.